everybody. Welcome once again to JoF TV. It is that time once again. It is Chuck's Choice. Now, usually, dork. Usually, I take this moment to talk about something that has really tweaked my interest, such as electronics, games, movies, what have you. It's usually something that's fun and entertaining. This week, my choice is a little different. My choice is to choose equality. And I want to talk a little bit about equality. Equality means treating everybody on a level playing field, regardless of who they are, where they come from, and how they live their lives. Doesn't matter if you're white, black, yellow, brown, red. Doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, whatever. Doesn't matter if you're a Christian, if you're Catholic, if you're Wiccan. Everybody deserves a little bit of common decency and deserves to be treated with respect as a fellow human being. And it's pissing me off that people aren't, regardless of who they are and what they believe in. They're not being treated with a little bit of human fucking decency. And specifically what got me riled up about this, and it's still pissing me off in case you can't tell, is Mike fucking Huckabee. Now, Mike Huckabee is a former presidential nominee, wanted to be president of our United States. And on his Facebook recently, he posted a post, and I'm going to read it verbatim. Same-sex marriage is newer than Google and the iPod. And the first nation to ever codify didn't do so until the year 2000. I'm told that I need to get on the right side of history and support the marriage of two people of the same gender. I respectfully believe I am on the right side of history, because the history is pretty long on marriage between a man and a woman, not so much for other versions. Despite the frothing of the advocates to the contrary, I'm neither a homophobe nor a hater. I am simple enough to believe that a marriage of one man and one woman not only is the only biological combination capable of creating the next generation, but in the context of a monogamous and committed relationship, it's the best context for children to learn how to replace their parents. If we are determined to change the definition of marriage to accommodate how people feel and what they wish to do because of their mutual consent, then we should immediately release those incarcerated for practicing polygamy or bigamy. And frankly, let's make all consensual adult behaviors legal, whether prostitution, assisted suicide, or even drinking 16-ounce sodas in New York City. Let me repeat that. If we are determined to change the definition of marriage to accommodate how people feel and what they wish to do because of their mutual consent, then we should immediately release those incarcerated for practicing polygamy or bigamy. And frankly, let's make all consensual adult behaviors legal, whether prostitution, assisted suicide, or even drinking 16-ounce sodas in New York City.
Is it wrong that I think everything he listed should be legalized?
No.
Because I do.
All right. Now, if you're a little mad about that, you need to be. Here's my response. Mr. Huckabee, it saddens me to think you actually believe the excrement you spout. Limiting marriage to only between a man and a woman does nothing but ostracize those who are different from you. Homosexuals are a minority, just like any other. All they are asking for is acceptance, compassion, and equality. You say to give them the right to wed is tantamount to giving New Yorkers the right to a 16-ounce soda? How dare you trivialize this issue in such a demeaning manner, by the way? Well, I say not allowing them to wed is tantamount to saying blacks and whites cannot drink from the same fountain. How would you like it if someone told you that you could not marry the person you love because of her anatomy? Maybe you should read that book you're so fond of a little more and learn what tolerance is all about. Now, the book I'm referring to is, of course, our Holy Bible. Now, Christians, and let's face it, I grew up a Christian, I still identify as a Christian, but Christians and Catholics, and I'm talking about the frothing at the mouths idiots like the Westboro Baptist Church, take this and use it as an excuse and a reason to be a dick and treat people with a lack of respect. And it's not just Christians. I'm not singling them out as the only religion that does this. Pretty much every organized religion out there does that. Every organized religion. People who don't actually organize as a religion and just follow the teachings and pay attention to what the book actually fucking says, they get the message. Don't be a dick. That's all Jesus ever said. Don't be a dick. Quit being a dick. Okay? He said it in language that the people in those times understood a little better. But the message was, don't be a dick.
Thou shalt
Love
not
one
be a
another.
dick.
Yeah, exactly. That needs to be like the 11th commandment. Love one another. Love thy neighbor. Love thy father. Love thy mother. Don't be a dick. That's all he was saying. Treating people like shit and using the Bible as the reason for it, that's bullshit. You're not going to heaven. You're going to fucking hell if it exists. Some people believe it does. Some people believe it doesn't. But if you believe in that sort of thing, you're fucking going there. You're going to hell because you treat people like shit. They don't deserve it. We need to stop being assholes to each other. We need to take a step back and go, you know what? You are my brother in humanity. You are my sister in humanity. You live your life how you want to live. You don't affect me. So I got no problems with you. I love the gay community. You know why? Because they're the ones who are showing us how a committed, monogamous relationship can be done. I know people that have been together for 30 fucking years that are same-sex couples. They're raising kids to learn tolerance and be accepting of everybody, regardless of their gender or their nationality or whatever. They're teaching the kids the best way they know how, not the way that that all opposite sex couples are doing, because they're getting married and getting divorced a year later. Kim fucking Kardashian, that's going to be someone that you want your kids to look up to. She married somebody that was the same sex, that was an opposite sex, and then got divorced. 47 days later? The honeymoon wasn't even over.
No.
You know, I'm tired. I'm so tired of the way we treat people. And it's not just this country, it's all across the world. Nobody seems to have figured it out. It's every walk of life, every religion. We gotta stop, because we're killing ourselves, we're killing our kids, and we're killing our environment with all the negative bullshit. We gotta stop. Y'all gotta wake up. I'm tired of it. Next time, I'll talk about a TV that I'm buying, because it's fucking awesome. It's really nice TV. You're going to love my new TV. That's all I got. Don't be a dick. Bye. Anything? Anything to add?
You're right. The only thing I have to add is you focus on gays, but it really is.
Well, and specifically, it's because of that. Because of this. This set me off.
But
it's not just about the homosexuals.
But you're absolutely
it's about
right.
Everybody.
Every walk of life, every color, equality is equality. And what I'm seeing more and more, and I continue to be called a racist for calling this out, but I will continue to call this out for as long as I see it. And somewhere along the way, and let me be clear, racism is wrong on any level. But somewhere along the way of trying to give blacks the same rights that whites had, we started becoming racist against whites. And I'm seeing more and more racism against whites now, which we're not allowed to call racism because that's racist.
Right. No, it's reverse racism.
And
which doesn't exist. There's no such thing as reverse racism, which is true. That's a true statement. There's no such thing as reverse racism. It's just fucking racism.
And racism can exist against any race.
Right.
So I'm seeing more and more racism against whites in the name of being fair to blacks.
Or Mexicans.
Or Mexicans or whatever minority.
Yeah, white privilege. That's one of those terms that tends to set you off. And
I hate that.
Yeah, I know. And
it drives me absolutely insane because to me, just like you said, equal is equal.
Right. Equality should be across the board, and everybody should be able to enjoy equality and being treated fairly. And you're right. It's not about just the homosexual community. Like I said, that's what set me off. But it's not just about them. It's about everything: race, creed, color, your sexual proclivities. I don't give a fuck. If you're not hurting anybody, let it go.
And for the record, I do think that consensual marriages should be allowed, whether it's
absolutely. And I even said, I'm not sure he makes such a good case there at the end.
No.
Let's see. What's wrong with polygamy? Nothing. What's wrong with bigamy? Nothing. Nobody's getting hurt because I'll take that back. As long as no one is getting hurt. So yes, there are situations where polygamy and bigamy are happening in a very creepy way, but the ones that are doing it out of love.
But when you're dealing with all consenting adults,
right?
That's what we're talking.
That's
what we're talking about here.
Consensual adult decisions that aren't hurting anyone need to be left alone. So yes, polygamy is perfectly okay in that situation. So is bigamy, not bigotry. That's entirely different. Bigamy's fine. Polygamy's fine. Prostitution's fine, especially if they're careful, like they do in Nevada. They regulate it,
and that's such a great example. I don't know why other states haven't picked up on it. Nevada has shown such a good example with that.
Right. The assisted suicide, that one's kind of a gray area, and so I'll give you that one. That one can be very touchy, so I'm not going to touch that one. I have my views on assisted suicide. But I'm going to let that go. But the 16-ounce soda thing, seriously? That's an example. Why would you use that as an example? Why would you trivialize the struggle that the homosexual community is going through to try and get the right to marry each other and compare it to buying a 16-ounce soda in New York City?
And what is considered one of the stupidest laws to come out of New York City in a long time by a mass majority of Americans.
It is right up there with you can't wash your donkey on a Sunday.
Right?
Which is a real law somewhere in the United States. I want to say it's one of the Dakotas. Yeah. Mike Huckabee,
But,
I respect the man's right to his opinion, and this is Facebook. He has a right to post what he wants, but be aware that you're going to get some backlash. And this was actually reposted to me by one of the people I went to high school with, and it didn't surprise me that she posted it, but it scares me that she liked it.
Yeah, the really only thing I'd say is equal is equal, and I think people forget what equal really means. I think in the fight to get rights for one group or another, along the way, the term equal is forgotten.
Yeah, it gets kind of lost in the shuffle.
And that's what I want to see. I want to see blacks and whites treated equal, straights and gays treated equal. Equal.
Yep.
Not one better than the other, not one better than the other because at one time we treated the other one better than the other.
Right.
Equal.
Now, men and women, fuck that. Women need to be under men. I'm kidding. That didn't hurt, by the way.
That was with my left fist.
Okay. Go ahead. Hit me with your... Turn that ring around. But go ahead. Hit me with your right. The one that has the stone on it. I don't think the lantern ring's going to hurt me.
I'm not going to punch you.
No, go ahead. It's still not going to hurt, so it doesn't matter. Ooh.
That didn't hurt at all.
Not even a little bit. I'll give you that there was enough force to make me move a little bit. That's an improvement. So you're getting stronger. No, that's a compliment. I'm serious. You're getting stronger. So good job. But it still didn't hurt.
Anyway, the point is equal, and I think we need to reevaluate what equal really means.
Right. And quit hiding behind your religion, whatever it happens to be. Quit using your religion as an excuse and permission to be a dick.